Hi guys. So, a little bit earlier this morning. I still didn't get up very early. I like sleep too much apparently. Anyway, so hope everybody had a good night and got enough sleep. Unfortunately I have to work today. But hey, it's a job. It's better than McDonald's any day. So are we ready for chapter 3 today on raising. This is on raising your own meat and eggs. Obviously, this is about animals on the homestead. I haven't been able to talk to Andrew yet about us getting out to our property. I'm hoping next week. I've just got to look at the schedule and see. Got to kind of figure it out. I'll let you guys know on that, and like I said, there'll definitely be a video. Found out there's another friend of mine that's helping to look for a camper trailer. So, some point here. I'm going to talk to my other friend today, hopefully, today or tomorrow, and see if she knows the guy that has a camper trailer for sale here in Wilburton. So, if she does, we'll see if maybe something can be worked out. Alright, so chapter 3 is on raising your own meat and eggs. Chloe? Chloe? She's not paying attention to me. Okay. Sorry, my sinuses are giving me issues today. I'm gonna have to do one of my apple cider vinegar drinks here pretty soon. I've been up for a little bit, but I've been kind of doing some other stuff this morning. Alright. Raising your own meat and eggs on an urban homestead can be accomplished with a little layout and planning. As long as local laws don't prevent livestock, but sometimes there are stringent regulations. And I don't really know. I know I've seen some videos of where people live in like urban settings and they're able to keep a few chickens, and other places have a lot stricter regulations. Before buying a single chick to raise on your urban homestead, review your state, country, and local farm ordinances. A lot of the time that stuff can be found online. And what you can't find, you can usually just call and ask down at your courthouse or township, like your township hall, city hall. Some restrictions placed on urban, suburban, and even small town homesteaders include a hen only rule, a maximum number of hens allowed, quiet breeds only allowed, prohibition of ducks, limit on number of rabbits, and specific guidelines pertaining to the keeping of goats. Typically only small stature goats are permitted. I actually don't know anyone like in town or anything here that's got. Ouch. Hang on, guys. Just. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take care of something. Anyway, I don't really know anybody here in town that has chickens or ducks or goats or anything like that. There might be. I don't even know what the laws and stuff are in town here in Wilburton. We won't have to worry about it on the property as far as like in town stuff, so After you are armed with the knowledge of what you can and cannot raise, including any restrictions on backyard butchering, it's time to decide where you will put your livestock. The placement of pens should always be considered when laying out growing space. Plants will get sun placement priority, but the livestock cannot be placed anywhere without some sunlight, nor in a full sun area without shading protection. And that's especially important down here. There was probably about at least a month. We had at least a month where, well, at least total. We had at least, I know there was 2 weeks. Yeah, it was about a month total where the temperatures were higher than 100 degrees. For at least 2.5 weeks, I know we had temperatures that were above 105. There were a few days where we had temperatures above 110. Heat stroke and scorching kills many poultry birds and rabbits during summer months. So, we'll have to be careful about that. But I'm going to make sure that where our coop area is at, they have like plenty of area where they can get shade. The ducks and geese will have their little pond that we're going to dig. And our rabbits and quail will be in part of our barn. And that part of, like, that area, I'm going to make it to where at least the rabbits can go out and forage in, like, their own little penned area. So, but they'll be able to, like, go back into the barn or, get under something to get away from the sun. Always make sure the animals have access to cool and clean water during times of intense heat. Providing a bag of ice on healthy frozen treats can help keep the animals cool. I've seen videos and even things on Pinterest where people have taken like fresh corn and frozen it in ice cubes. And they'll give those to the chickens or put those ice cubes in their water. So it'll give them like, little food treats in their water, but it'll also, it keeps their water cold too. Using solar-powered fans to protect the animals from heat stroke might also be necessary. I might look into that. I've actually thought about that. It just kind of depends on... It just kind of depends on how much solar we actually decide to get. We'll figure out a way to keep them cool and keep them healthy and keep them from getting hurt by the sun and all that. So, okay, so chickens. One of my faves. Yay. I can't wait. Save space in your chicken coop by going up instead of out when building it. Chickens love to be up high and will appreciate your effort. I've actually thought about that too. And I think I might incorporate that into our chicken coop. Kind of have more up high, like roosting areas in the chicken coop. If your backyard is fenced in, you could allow the flock to free range for part of the day to give them some exercise and access the protein they need. Bugs and worms. This way you can avoid having to build a large run. And I do plan on allowing our chickens to free range in like most of our area. Now I'm going to have like a fenced off area for the dogs that we have, like to let them out, like if the chickens are out. I don't know, maybe we might be able to train them as puppies to not attack the chickens. Any chicken run area must be built out of hardware cloth, rabbit hutch wire, and not chicken wire. The thin and flexible wire is great for keeping birds in, but not for keeping predators out. And I did find that out in Michigan. If you build a chicken run, it must have a top and some type, or you will lose your chickens to hawks and raccoons. Yeah. We didn't have raccoons getting in through the top of the coop. They were getting in through a hole in the bottom, which we did fix. We had to use it was a hard wire, like rectangle fencing. You can see it in the videos from Michigan. I had to put a piece of that on the back of the chicken coop where it cornered like this. I had to put it like on the part like right here, and I put it over on the other side, on the corner on both sides. And I stretched it down just to make sure that there weren't any more areas that they could get through. Because we lost a total of 10, I think, to raccoons. Because of a hole I didn't realize was there. So, raccoons are very intelligent animals. They can actually figure out how to unlock simple locks. So, you got to be careful with your chicken coops with raccoons. Because they will do pretty much anything to get to those birds. Because all they see is a meal. If you build a chick... Okay, I already read that. Hens need access to a dirt bath as well. A shallow tub filled with loose dirt, sand, or wood ash will suffice as a cheap do-it-yourself dirt bath. More than likely, that's what we're going to do. And I'll probably make it a mixture of like sand and wood ash. I can actually buy the sand down at Tractor Supply, so... And I'll probably just stock up on several bags of it to make sure we have some when I can't get it. I don't really know how much sand is up there on the mountain where our property's at, so it's going to have to be something I'll have to figure out when we're starting to build stuff up there. The hens use these baths as a social activity and as a means to rid themselves or prevent parasite infections. Sprinkle about a half tablespoon of oregano and cinnamon over their feed or in the flock water several times a week in order to boost your bird's immune systems. Now, Doug and Stacy, with their chickens, she grows a lot of extra herbs, and she uses like oregano and mint. It's the only trick I can remember right now. She'll cut like quite a few extra cuttings of the mint and oregano and maybe basil and some other stuff. And she takes it in the chicken coop and she just sprinkles it on the floor. She just puts it on the floor. She puts it in their nesting boxes. And they love it. And, she said that it keeps them healthy and it keeps them happy. And she said happy chickens makes more eggs, so. And that is true. Watch for signs of frostbite on the wattles and feet of the birds. The wattles are the little combs on their heads. And like the little thing that's down there on the roosters. Slowly and painfully. Also watch for sudden rises in temperature or your chickens could get heat stroke. Always try to keep them cool. And again, you can always add little veggies or fruit or whatever, or even herbs to ice cubes and then put those in their water. Or just put those in a separate pan and just put them out there. Alright, quiet chicken breeds. Some breeds of chickens are quieter and more docile than others. That's true. We had, I think it was the Buff Orpingtons. The Buff Orpingtons were pretty quiet and docile. The Dominiques, those are the ones I was trying to think of. The two Dominiques that we had, the two gray chickens that we had in Michigan, those were fairly quiet and pretty docile. The Asian blacks weren't too bad. They were just goofy. They were the ones that tried to peck at my shoes and stuff. Because they thought that there was feet on my shoes. But make no mistake about it, all roosters will crow, and all hens can get loud when they cackle together in a group, especially when they get ready to lay eggs. That is something we realized. And the white leghorns seem to be more of the ones that did that. The Isa Browns, the Asian blacks get loud when they go to lay eggs. Start small with just 3 birds to ensure you have time to care for the birds and that you can do so without complaints from neighbors. For us, we won't have that issue, not on our property. But for those of you that live in like urban or suburban settings, yeah, you'll have to take your neighbors into consideration, and just have to kind of check it out and see which ones are a little bit better than the other ones. I forgot about that. Those ones. Okay. The top 5 quiet chicken breeds that they list here. One of them, actually 2 of them I forgot about. And we did have the Wyandottes. We weren't there when they actually got grown up more. Okay, number 1 is the Baird Rock or the Plymouth Rock. So we had 4 of those. Those are the black and white speckled ones. Those are so pretty. I love those chickens. Buckeye chickens. I never had any of those yet. Buff Orpingtons, I mentioned them. The Rhode Island Reds, I wanted some of those. And then the Wyandottes. And the Wyandottes, there are silver Wyandottes, silver laced Wyandottes, golden laced Wyandottes, blue laced Wyandottes. I think that's it. I might be missing some, I don't know. But I know there's those 3. We had 2 of the golden ones, and they are so pretty. We moved before they got fully grown up, so. But they were getting really, really pretty. You should get at least 100 eggs per year from any of the breeds on this list. Out of 1 chicken per year. You need to take that into account. If you're not going to be able to sell enough eggs, or you can't preserve them for some reason, be careful how many you get. Because we were getting anywhere from 20 to 25 eggs almost every day. And there was one day I went out there to get the eggs, and there was like 34. So, make sure you can either sell them or make sure you have a good way to preserve them. I'm actually going to look into water glassing and see if I can get the stuff to do it. When I go back through, I'm still going back through and watching Doug and Stacy's videos. And I'm going to try to find the one that they have on preserving eggs and see what they do and what they recommend. And, I'll probably try several different ways of preserving the eggs because I know we're going to end up with a lot of chickens. I know we are. Plus, I'm probably going to get into hatching our chicks and selling them. Because you can make quite a bit off from that. And that'll go back into the homestead. Alright. Both Buff Orpingtons and Rhode Island Reds lay medium to large brown eggs. The rest will lay white eggs. Okay, so I didn't... We were getting more white eggs, too, so I didn't realize the Baird Rocks laid white eggs. We had the White Leghorns, too, so... I also didn't realize the Wyandottes laid white eggs. Again, we weren't there long enough for them to mature up to that point, so... Don't worry, they're being taken care of. Yeah, that's a whole other situation. They might have actually been gotten rid of, I don't know. It's very possible. Situation that was going on there, I'm not even going to get into it, because we're going to build up our homestead here. And I will help our son out in any way that we can, and make sure that he has what he needs to make it. So, anyway, goats. We never got our goats, which is probably a good thing. There are many goat breeds to consider. Pygmy goats and Nigerian dwarf goats are about the weight and height of a large dog, such as a chow or a German shepherd. Nigerian goats are considered a dairy breed and offer a sweet, almost buttermilk style of milk. I'm still considering possibly getting goats. The only thing I'm worried about is the fencing. I'm going to have to read up more on it, on the type of fencing to use. If anybody has any ideas, please let me know. I'm thinking the chain link fence. But please let me know. Because I definitely have to know that before completely deciding to get them. Because I do know that goats are escape artists. Unlike standard goats, they cannot climb anything higher than about 3 feet tall. Okay. Dog houses are commonly used as a safe enclosure for small stature goats. The structures protect them from the elements and provide them with shade. Keeping a billy goat, intact male, might not be permitted in some areas. Billy goats are rather loud when they get the desire to mate. Keep this in mind if you are able to purchase an intact male. Yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind. But again, we'll be on the mountain, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. I know I'm pretty sure there's some other people that live up there on the mountain that do have goats. And my friend that works with me, Andrew, he has some goats, so it's not an issue because of the fact of where it's at. What was I going to say? Oh, the little houses. When they said dog houses are commonly used as a safe enclosure for small stature goats. What I'm thinking, because we can get a hold of pallets down here a lot easier, I'm thinking of definitely getting pallets and building, if we do go with goats, I'll build their pen in a separate area. Sorry. And use pallets to build it. But instead of using wire, which I know wouldn't have worked now, I'll use like the 2x4s. I'll get the 2x4s to use as like cross beams. And make sure I have a cordless drill with the deck screws. And I'll put them together with 2x4s to hook them together. Oh my goodness, I'm not awake yet. I'm sorry, guys. Haven't even made my coffee yet. Anyway, again, we're still thinking about the whole goats thing. I don't know. I don't think we'll get sheep because we do want a dairy cow. I don't know. We're still thinking on that one. In order to get milk from a female goat, she will have to be lactating after having kids. If you cannot keep a billy goat yourself, you could contact stud services with rural homesteaders or breeders. Kind of the same thing with a cow. There's such a thing as where you can rent a bull long enough to breed your female cow, or heifer as they're called. And I'm still thinking on that because I don't really know if I want to deal with having a bull. I've heard too many stories on that one, and I don't really know if I just don't know if I want to deal with having a bull. That's all. So thinking on that one. I don't know. Might honestly be, I don't know. We'll figure it out one way or the other. Maybe, there might be somebody even up on the mountain that has a bull that might be willing to get with us and help make sure that our cow is bred so we can keep milk. If your yard is fenced, the goats can free range and take care of your weeds. However, any plant or shrub that doesn't have fencing around it will become a source of food for the goats. Goats are bad about that, and they will tear up a garden. Hardware cloth attached to T-posts or wood posts or attached to a wood panel fence usually makes a strong and inexpensive fencing option for small stature goats. Like I said, the fencing I'll have to really think about. Honestly, if we do decide to get goats, I might just make a section for them in the barn. I know we need a couple of horses. And I'm going to try to, I know I mentioned this before, I'm going to try to check out and see what Amish communities are around the area and see if we could possibly get hooked up with a horse and buggy and a couple of horses. So, I don't know. I mean, I'll make a video about that and let you guys know, especially if we're able to do it, which would be really cool. Make a video of us actually using the horse and buggy and us on it and showing you guys. Alright, rabbits. If keeping rabbits, create your compost pile beneath the hutch to save space and constantly acquire nutrient-rich droppings. Would be another compost pile that we could have. Keeping just one buck, male, to 2 does, females, will likely provide you with more than enough kits, baby rabbits, to supplement your family's meat source significantly, or to sell the rabbits, which is probably what we'll end up doing. The buck should be kept in a separate hutch from the does, or he will try to mount them constantly. An overly taxed buck can kill himself from exhaustion or become sterile over a short period of time. A doe must have a private nook in her hutch with materials to form a nest to use as a birthing and nursery area for her kits. Even a docile doe can become fiercely aggressive with a caretaker who reaches anywhere near the nest while she is tending to her kits. The behavior should cease once the kits are weaned. I've never had rabbits, so that'll be all new territory for me. The top 5 meat rabbit breeds are Californians, Continental Giants, Flemish Giants, New Zealand, and Silver Fox. I've seen videos with the New Zealand ones and the Silver Fox. I don't know much about rabbits right now, so I'll make videos on that as I learn more about them. While these 5 breeds are great, there are many other rabbit breeds worth considering. Raising your own livestock for meat and eggs is a very rewarding experience. You know where your food is from, how it was raised, and can rest assured that the animals were given a humane life before they wound up on the butcher block. And that is very, 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 very true. Knowing where your food comes from is so, so, so important. And that, that's the problem with pretty much all of the grocery store food now. You don't know where you don't know where it came from, you don't know where it was grown, you don't know where it was raised, you don't know what it was fed, you don't know what it was given, whether it was given drugs, hormones, vaccines. You don't know any of that stuff. You don't know what kind of chemicals was put on the fruits and vegetables as they were growing. You don't know, and there's no real way you can find out. Okay, I take that back. You could try to research down to specific areas and find out, like what chemicals and stuff were used. But it's just a given that there's chemicals in the produce, there's chemicals that were used on the feed and the grazing area of the animals, and the eggs are not what they would be if they were farm fresh eggs, and it's just so much better to have your own, and again, like this said, you know exactly where it came from. You don't have to worry about it. And it's so, so much healthier. There are many animals you can raise, but rabbits and chickens are 2 of the quickest and easiest types of livestock to butcher. No expensive tools are required to slaughter and butcher these animals. Just a sharp knife and a little bit of patience are all that is required to complete a process that hasn't changed since the time of our pioneering ancestors. And that goes along with what I was saying in a couple of different videos on the pioneers and our ancestors. Another animal that they didn't mention there was quail. Quail are easy raise. You don't need a whole lot to feed them. You can grow all the food to feed quail. You can grow all the food to feed rabbits. Goats are easy because they'll eat whatever produce, and it keeps them healthy. They don't need grain foods from the store. You can grow literally all their food. You can grow all the food for the rabbits. Technically, you can grow all the food for all your animals, including chickens, and that's another video I'm gonna do here soon. I might make a live out of it, I don't know. We'll see. I might be doing a live on Sunday. I'm gonna do a little bit more thinking on that one. I know I have Sunday off, and I will let everybody know. If I am gonna do a live Sunday, Saturday I will put out a premiering video, or like premiering date for the video. So, got a couple days to figure that one out. So if anybody has any other information on small farm animals for meat, eggs, there's ducks, there's geese, there's turkeys, and we're planning on having all of those. And I am planning on doing quail. Never done quail, but I know we can, so I know it won't be that hard. We'll just have to have the coop to put them in, and we might end up building that. I don't know. Just depends. But I will get back with you guys, and I did get my applesauce done. I got 2 pints out of it, and they turned out. Sorry. Still kind of tired. Not awake. Something. I'll show you guys my applesauce. I got 2 good pints out of those apples that we had in the freezer. And they were just apples that were given to us. There's one. And here's the other one. And it's cinnamon applesauce. So anyway, hope you guys got some good information out of that today. And I don't know if I'm going to do another video tonight or not. Or before I leave for work. I've got to be at work at 3 today. I'm hoping to work on my painting. I've kept saying I was going to, and I still haven't done it. I've had so many other things to do, so I want to try to take some time to paint. But I think that's about it, and I will get back with you guys, if not later today or tonight, then definitely tomorrow. Have a good day, guys. Bye.